Hey, what's up, guys? Xenon Piku back. I'm here today. Talk about tracking your lifts and making progress in the gym. Now, to start off, progressive overload is the way that we would be making progress. Gradually increasing the weight every week or so, getting gradually stronger, little by little. 1 week we go from benching 155 and then the next week we're doing 160, and that's good. You want to do progressive overload, and we're going to failure. We're trying to get 8 to 12 reps range of hypertrophy. But that's where we got to take a pause. That's what I want to talk about. So the truth is 8 to 12 reps is the range for hypertrophy, but 6 reps is also going to get you hypertrophy. So you shouldn't think that just because you can't get 8 reps minimum on a certain exercise that the weight is too heavy, or you're not strong enough, or like that something is wrong, because that may not be the case. Now, there could be a lot of different things of why you're not getting that magic hypertrophy range. One could just be external factors, like did you watch TikTok and Instagram reels until 3 a.m. last night, and now you go lift, and so you're kind of tired. Your muscles are not as rested. That's what's one example. Another could just be, are you locked in? Are you like really focused, or are you just, you kind of half effort the set or whatever. Those are just a couple examples of external factors. I think you guys are training hard. I think you're very serious, so those probably would not apply to you. But there could be certain external factors, such as, I can't really think of anything. Okay, but the point is, you should not think that just because you don't get a minimum of 8 reps that you're not growing, because that's the rule. But this is not a rigid rule in lifting. It's flexible. There's like, what if you got 6 reps and then you were doing half reps the rest? You still went to failure. You still are moving the weight, and your muscle is getting exhausted. And that's the other thing, guys. That's a side note. When you go to failure, try and get some half reps afterward, because failure is when you move the weight and you can no longer do a full rep. But half reps are like, you move the weight a half the way, a quarter of the way, not a full rep. That's some post-failure work for your muscle that helps you get stronger. And then drop sets. So that's, you go to failure, and then you like lower the weight and you go to failure again, or you just maybe do a few more reps. That's like post-failure, guys. So you really want to go post-failure too. But back to the main point. Yeah, like I said, it's not some rigid rule that you have to obey all the time. You just, if you feel like you're getting stronger, then like by doing them 6 reps, if you were tracking your lifts and you see that, yeah, I feel stronger, this set feels a little bit lighter, a little bit easier than it did last week, I feel like we can go up a few pounds or so. I feel like, oh, my legs feel stronger on the leg extension this time, or the squat. If you feel that you're progressing and you see that you're progressing, not just like you imagining things, but you actually see that you progressing, then go ahead and keep doing 6 reps, because that's, for me personally, 6 reps was always my minimum, and it worked for me in building muscle, forcing growth. So guys, you should definitely do that. Another thing is, when you lift heavy, obviously it is difficult, but it's kind of like, sometimes you just want to test your strength, and so that you, like, every set that you do may not be a working set. Like, sometimes, guys, I'll girl and I go and I'll start curling like some 60s or whatever for like 2 or 3 reps, just because I want to test my strength. But that also will help grow your muscle, because it's being introduced to an even heavier weight. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like powerlifters, right? They're only gonna do the deadlift, 800-900 pounds, they're gonna do the 500-pound bench or whatever. They're gonna do it for like 2 or 3 reps, but it's building strength. Like 5 reps or less is like the strength range. Well, okay, 8 to 12 reps is hypertrophy and strength, but just strength I would say is like 5 reps or less. 6 reps, now that I feel like that's enough where your muscle will grow. So that's what I would say, and like that's why you should aim for 8 reps. But if you can't, it's all good, and sometimes just go a little heavier and try and introduce your muscle to some new heavy weight. But just don't get caught up in like, oh man, I have to get 8 to 12 reps, and if I don't, something's wrong. Because that is not the case, and there's some weeks you may get stuck, you may plateau, and as long as you get through that, that's okay. Just continue tracking your lifts. If you feel like something is not working, you've been stuck on something for a while, don't just give up like you stuck after a week or 2 weeks. But if you feel like, okay, 2.5, a few weeks, maybe you want to switch up the exercise, lower the weight a little bit, just watch some videos on what you're trying to do, but don't think that you have to get 8 to 12 reps. That's the thing. I see a lot of rigidness with this rule, and it's a flexible rule, but people treat it rigid, like you have to get 8 to 12 reps. We can't grow if we don't get 8 to 12 reps. We're not training hard enough if we don't get 8 to 12 reps. That's not the case at all. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope this helps you in your training. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace.